Alrighty, good Thursday morning, Mid-Michigan. I'm First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro here with an update on your First Alert forecast. First and foremost, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you do have a great holiday ahead of you here, just a nice relaxing holiday. And of course, go Lions, looking for a nice win by the Lions later on this afternoon too. But importantly, with our First Alert forecast, we are still tracking some cold and blustery weather for this holiday today, but we are also tracking some snow for the upcoming weekend. And this weekend system is something we've been at least talking about a little bit throughout the week so far. At least earlier this week, with it having been so far out, we didn't really want to set anything in stone just yet, but especially now we are really seeing some good agreement on this weekend system, especially now that our high resolution data is starting to reach the weekend as well, and it is also agreeing on the snowfall. So right off the bat here, I do want to bring you this, first alerting you to a brand new First Alert Weather Day. This First Alert Weather Day is in place for Sunday. This snowfall will actually get started on Saturday evening, but it does get started a little bit later in the day. So that is why we are deciding to just have the First Alert Weather Day on Sunday. That's also the day that we should have some more travel impacts. And I will even note here too that we do expect some slick travel even as we go over into our upcoming Saturday evening, but still most of those widespread road impacts should especially be apparent by Sunday morning because the snow will continue to fall through Saturday night and then over into Sunday as well. Now it is a little bit early with some of these snow totals as well, and we are going to work to get you a snow map as soon as possible, but based off of all of the data that we have, right now a good ballpark estimate for the snowfall is about 4 to 6 inches by Sunday morning. If we really have a good stream of moisture here too, we could possibly see some of those snow totals trend upwards another inch or two, but either way, this definitely looks like enough snow that you are going to have to shovel or snow blow by Sunday morning. And again, that slow travel is really one of the main impacts that we expect from this snowfall as well. So again, this is a brand new First Alert Weather Day that we are issuing for this upcoming weekend on Sunday. That snowfall will be getting started pretty late in the day on Saturday. Now we actually do have a little bit of a timeline here for your road conditions as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. These are what our road conditions are expected to be like during that time frame. So Saturday evening, roads are starting to become slick, but the snowfall with a gradual start, it will take a little bit of time for those roads to really start to be a little bit more impeded by the snowfall. And then by the middle of the night on Saturday night, we expect all of our roadways in mid-Michigan to be snow covered, and then that slow travel should continue into Sunday morning, along with that snow continuing to fall on Sunday morning as well. So if you have any travel plans this weekend, perhaps heading back home, or if you're going to just be driving through mid-Michigan this upcoming Sunday as well, I would expect some slower travel and some extra time will be needed by then. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our hour-by-hour forecast. We're actually starting this off here on Friday evening because I do want to show you this. Tomorrow evening should actually be a pretty quiet evening. You notice just a couple of stray lake effect snow showers in Huron County and also up north. But really by this time in the evening tomorrow, we expect most of this lake effect that we've had to just continue to wind down even more. So the second half of our Friday is actually looking pretty quiet for us. Now, as we go into Saturday morning, conditions are still dry. We just have a cloudy sky there. That right there is 9 in the morning on Saturday. We also have the big game, the game coming up this weekend in Ann Arbor with Ohio State visiting Michigan. If you do have plans to go to that game on Saturday, your drive down there in the morning should be totally fine. You'll have dry roads. You'll just have a cloudy sky, but conditions should still be pretty quiet as you're heading down there. So here we are fast forwarding to about 5 in the afternoon. So I will even say if you're leaving the game, once you're heading home from the game in Ann Arbor, later on Saturday afternoon. You may start to encounter a little bit of snow, especially if you'll be traveling more in the direction of Lansing. However, the snow will still be taking some time to arrive here, even by 5 in the evening on Saturday. Notice that the snow is still mostly to the west of I-75 as it does come in from the southwest. And I will just give you a little bit of a disclaimer here too. The timing for when the snowfall starts is still up for a little bit of adjustment as well. We may have to move that around by just a couple of hours, but in general, based off of all the data that we do have right now, that 5 o'clock start seems to be a pretty good average start time for Mid-Michigan currently. So again, just want to let you know that that time could change a little bit, but we don't expect any sort of major change, say where the start time goes up by 12 hours or something like that. So that definitely should not be the case with the start time, but still some fine tuning might be needed. Now, as we go towards the later parts of the evening, this is about 8 in the evening on Saturday. You see the snowfall starting to encompass even more of Mid-Michigan. And then this right here, midnight on Saturday night, this is also where the hour by hour cuts off. This is our high resolution data, so it only does go out a limited number of hours. So right now it's cutting off at midnight on Saturday night. But you can see there widespread snow across not only all of the TV5 viewing area, but really across the entire lower peninsula as well. I'll take you over to our European model, so we'll take over from there going into Sunday because we still don't have the high resolution model data yet for Sunday. But you can see here this system, and this is more of a wider view of this, certainly no doubt that that snow from this storm system will be moving not only right through Mid-Michigan, but through the Great Lakes as a whole. Now, as we go into Sunday morning, this right here is at about 6 in the morning on Sunday. We still have some of the snow falling, and it still continues even towards midday. We'll jump forward to about noon. You see here at noon on Sunday, we still have some snow, but we're starting to get on to the tailing edge of this system, or the trailing edge of this system. So by then, even though the snow should still be falling, I would expect it to be slowing down quite a bit by midday on Sunday. And then by the end of the day, we should be able to see the snowfall starting to wrap up completely for us. So that will leave us with drier weather as we go into Sunday night, and then especially Monday, starting off next week too. Now, one thing I will make a note of, on the shoreline of the thumb, right along M25, going into the afternoon, you could perhaps see a little bit of rain mixing in, because even though it is going to be cold this weekend, the waters of Lake Huron are relatively still warm, and they are certainly above freezing as of right now. So if you're on the shoreline of Lake Huron on Sunday, you could see a little bit of rain mixing in there briefly, but overall this system should be all snow for the large majority of Mid-Michigan. So this is a system and a signal that we have been tracking here really since the start of the week, and even since parts of last weekend too, and everything has been holding on with this. But as we've gone throughout the last 48 hours especially, all of our model data has really been aligning really well with this system. So we do feel confident about this first alert weather day for Sunday. The snowfall should definitely be enough where, again, you'll need to shovel or snow blow. For any plow drivers, this is definitely some good news for you. Looks like you'll have a little bit of work to do on Sunday. But as we go into Sunday too, one of the key parts of this are the travel impacts too, especially with this being a holiday weekend. So we do want to first alert you to that, and we wanted to bring you that update for this morning. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here real quick, but when we come back from the break, we'll talk more about our Thanksgiving forecast here and talk about some of the road conditions for today as well. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Alrighty, welcome back from that break. So we are going to be tracking a little bit more lake effect as we go throughout the remainder of today as well, because we still have that northwesterly wind out there, and even outside of any of that lake effect up north, the wind is something that you'll still definitely notice for today as well. Actually, I do want to show you this here, I-75 in Birch Run. So there's the overpass for Birch Run Road, exit 136. You can see the camera kind of shaking around there a little bit, and the American flag in the background there on the right side of the screen also still furling around quite a bit as well. So the wind is still going to stick around for today. However, the wind advisories that we had from the National Weather Service, those have since expired at this point, so there is no wind advisory for today. We do expect wind gusts to just not be quite as strong as yesterday evening or overnight, but still enough wind that it'll definitely be noticeable through today, and that will be impacting some of our temperatures as well. So here's a look at your Thanksgiving planner for the remainder of today. We do have temps only reaching up to about 34 or 35 at the most, but with the wind factored in, it'll feel anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees colder than that at any given point today. So more so low 20s to upper teens for our wind chills for this entire Thanksgiving. So breezy, cold, blustery. At least it's a good indoor day for this Thanksgiving holiday, and again for watching the Lions later on today too. But for this Thanksgiving, definitely a colder day is going to be ahead of us. Now, we've already passed the peak with those stronger wind gusts, so that peak was essentially late last evening and in the middle of the night. So as we go throughout the remainder of today, some gusts should still be able to reach over 30 miles per hour. I'd say 40 on a very isolated basis, but definitely in that range of 30 to 35. Notice after about 5 or 6 o'clock today, that's when most of those gusts start to fall even below that 30 mile per hour mark as well. So even though it's still a bit breezy even into tonight, the wind will continue to just relax for us a little bit more. And also before the break, we were talking about that weekend snow. I do want to note that we actually aren't expecting much wind at all for the weekend. So as that snowfall comes in for the weekend, we really aren't expecting a very windy day like yesterday or today. In fact, really only about a 5 to 10 mile per hour wind on Saturday, and then perhaps a few gusts up to about 20 miles per hour on Sunday. So compared to yesterday and today, the weekend really shouldn't be all too windy. As we take a look at the First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, though, definitely want to highlight the lake effect that we still have. And we have some of this on the west side of the state, so if you're still traveling there today, you will encounter some snow. But as we move the map north, definitely seeing some snowy travel if you're going to be heading north out of our area today. So Grayling, Frederick, even up towards Gaylord, those areas are going to have some snowy roads, so that portion of I-75 actually still a bit snowy as of right now. But even in our own northern counties, we've had this one lake effect belt moving through the Rose City and Hale and Whittemore areas really since the early morning, going on about 5-6 hours now. So that is going to lead to some higher localized accumulations for those spots, but it is also leading to some roadway impacts in those areas as well. So M33, M55, and M66, or rather M65. So if you'll be traveling on any of those roads today too, especially for the rest of the morning, we do still have some slower travel, so we do just want to urge some caution if you'll be traveling through those spots, and definitely the need for some extra time. We can go ahead and zoom out our traffic map, though, for the remainder of mid-Michigan. You can actually see most of our drive times for the rest of our area are actually in pretty nice shape. We do have normal drive times, no major holdups around the Bay region or around Flint. And if you're traveling out of our area to the south towards Lansing, Ann Arbor, Metro Detroit, those drive times also looking nice and green for us too. So for mid-Michigan today, really any sort of travel impacts will mainly just be confined to our northern counties, and especially if you're traveling north out of our area as well. As we go throughout today, again with that wind, you'll definitely notice that on I-75 too. That's going to be a crosswind going over the freeway because it's more of a west-northwest wind. So if you're traveling US 10, that'll be a headwind if you're heading out west, a tailwind if you're coming back here in the direction of the Bay region. But I'll take you back to that First Alert Weather Day one last time here. Just want to show you this, and this is really the big update here on our First Alert live stream for today, is the fact that we have now declared a First Alert weather day for Sunday. We are still going to be tracking that storm system moving into our area. And even though the snow starts up Saturday evening, we expect the majority of our road impacts to especially have developed by Sunday morning. So if you will be traveling at all for the upcoming holiday weekend, on Sunday, we are expecting some slower travel and definitely the need for some extra time. And it should be enough snow that you'll need to shovel or snow blow by Sunday morning as well. Well, that's all we have for you for this First Alert update this morning. I'll be back here again with another update at 12:45 this afternoon. And at that 12:45 update, we'll also have another model run, a new hour-by-hour here. That's going to take us a little bit more into Sunday morning, so that'll also show us how long that snow sticks around into Sunday. So I'll have that update coming for you at 12:45 this afternoon. In the meantime, I hope the rest of your Thanksgiving morning is great, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday today as well.